Welcome back to On the Beat. Isaac here again this week. Today we're talking to Patrick Wooten, the COO, managing partner of Richard Schwartz and Associates. Today, Patrick, thanks for joining us.
Good to see you.
Talking about workman's comp, which I think is something that everybody, I won't say jokes about, but also when it happens, you need to know what it is and how it can help you, right?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll get started. What exactly is workman's comp?
Absolutely. So workers' compensation, in the simplest of terms, is that you are within the course and scope of your job and you get hurt on the job. Okay. Simplest definition.
All right. Well, so whatever somebody's job is, I mean, weatherman, attorney,
that's right.
Whatever, just as long as we're working and get hurt,
yep,
that falls under the scope. Okay. So what types of injuries, I guess, that could be any number of things, correct?
Yeah, it could. So for sure, we're going to take you, Isaac. So
I'm an easy target.
You know, you're a good target. So you're out on a remote because it's, a chance of tornadoes or chance of severe weather.
Okay.
So you actually go out on a remote and you're standing and you're broadcasting live and a tree limb comes and whacks you in the leg.
Okay.
That is a workers' compensation injury.
Even though I'm not in the building?
Even though you're not in the building, because you are performing your duties for the station.
Okay.
In that situation. And so it hits you in your leg, and if it was severe enough and broke your leg, that's a workers' compensation. Even if it just bruised your leg that required you just to go get medical treatment, that's still a workers' compensation injury.
Okay. So what costs are actually involved in that? I guess a minor scrape versus a surgery or something would be massive differences.
They are. So the cool thing about workers' compensation is it covers all your medical treatment as it's related to that injury.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. So you don't have the stress of, oh my gosh, how are my medical bills are going to get paid. If you are off of work for 5 or more days, it's going to pay you what's called temporary wages, which is on average is 2/3 of your average weekly wage.
Is that a federal or state?
This is state. So
okay.
Each state's different on this end. So this is actually the Mississippi state rule. So 2/3 of your average weekly wage up to a maximum.
Okay.
And then from there, once you recover, you may be entitled to some additional dollars depending on the best way you describe the severity of the injury.
Okay. So what process, after you contact an attorney, how do we get the workman's comp started?
Yeah. So the key is it's really important to get an attorney because there are some very specific procedural steps in a workers' comp case. And if you happen to jump from A to C, you can greatly imperil or even just torpedo your workers' compensation case. So it's calling the attorney's office at Schwartz & Associates sooner rather than later because you actually have 30 days from the time you're injured to report it to work. You have an affirmative duty to report that injury to your employer.
Okay.
And you really don't want to wait till the 30th day. You want to report it, immediately when it happens. So pictures, records, witnesses, and so forth. But hiring us is going to allow us to work and interface with the workers' comp insurance company so you can focus on your treatment and getting well. That's the key, is let the injured person
skip point B and risk losing everything.
Absolutely.
Right? All right, last question, or one of the last ones here. What's the difference between workman's comp and a personal injury?
Yep. That biggest difference is workers' compensation has no pain and suffering built in. So you hear about, I had a car wreck and the jury or the insurance company gave me $600,000. You're not going to get that sum of money traditionally in a workers' comp because you're only going to, it's your medical bills, it's your lost wages, and then any permanent injury based on a very specific formula in the workers' comp law.
Okay, and then one last question for you as we wrap up today. A special attorney, is that required for this or just you handle all kinds of things?
You want somebody who does workers' compensation law because it is
specializes in
it is. It's a very specific area of law. There are very specific rules and regulations. We have 3 dedicated workers' compensation attorneys who do a great job. So you really want someone who handles workers' compensation cases day in and day out because they're going to know how to walk you through that legal minefield.
Excellent. Patrick, we sure appreciate your time this morning. Excellent advice. If you need any additional information or have any other questions, the information is there on your screen. We're back after this.